All right, so I hate to break it to everybody, but I don't believe Deadpool will save the MCU. Now, I was like, I'm hyped for the movie. I know you're hyped for the movie. Everybody hyped to see some Deadpool, especially over here to see what they do with the MCU. But at the same time, everybody thinking like, oh man, I was like, this movie we're waiting on. Hey, this is what Marvel needed. Like everybody's on the it's gonna save everything. I mean, hell, he said it himself. He's Marvel Jesus. He's the Messiah. But I don't think that he will save the MCU. Probably a multitude of reasons, but look, I think the MCU has sort of dug a hole that even something that Deadpool won't be able to save them out of. I think due to not real like everybody wants to say like the past year, but it's like really for a while I was like it's their movies have been good or below. Uh or I think even with movies like for instance like Ant-Man. If that was a different movie, I don't think anybody have a problem with it. But I think once you make an Ant-Man and then you throw in what Kang at the time, I think that changed the dynamics a lot in a way that makes it I would like more to bargain for, and it doesn't deliver. Same thing with Doctor Strange Multitude of Madness. I was like, I that might be more the creation of fans plus the rumor mill and all that other stuff of people who might show up and stuff like that. So maybe we got ahead of ourselves in that situation, but still high expectation. Um, but then there's just other projects where it's just like Hawkeye. I was like, I like Hawkeye, but also I can acknowledge it's okay. Secret Invasion, Echo. I was like, it was good until it wasn't. Um, you know, just things like that. And I think that Deadpool in itself, even if it comes out the gates swinging, it being one, it's the only movie this year, and I think it's good that MCU decided to take a breather, not necessarily due to anything that was out of their hands, because I believe stuff like the strike and also that started pushing things back, and and they want to right the ship a lot more. That I think that sort of has pushed things farther. But at the same time, I think that we just needed lower amount of stuff. That doesn't mean that we needed nearly nothing. Like like say it had been a movie or two, fine. Movie two or a movie and a show, cool. Just one movie and basically you gotta wait till almost. I was like, that's gonna come out around June, May, June. I was like, and you ain't gonna see another Marvel property until like March or something. That's a long time to have Deadpool basically hold all that excitement that it may give until then. I think that's. I also think that it because of what it is of Deadpool, it sort of fits in the same realm of Guardians, where it's like, yes, it's a Marvel property, but it's not MCU. And like I'll explain. I was like, now, like for instance, the reason I said Guardians of the Galaxy is because we see that more of a James Gunn thing, especially now that he has taken off and went to DC. It really does seem like it's more of a hip property. I was like almost like how when it was the Russo brothers doing things, like we see those as that's their stuff. Um, I was like Taika Waititi, we sort of seen him sort of like that. Once it's like that's his imprint more than MCU's imprint. Um, so that's what I sort of mean by that, because I'm like it's own thing. Especially it's different because it's coming from a different thing. It coming from Fox, so it does it. So it's totally different. It has its own thing. It's almost like if we just sort of got the Venom movies. It's like, yes, I know they're Marvel movies, but they're Venom movies from Sony. Same thing as we would see if they brought in trash movies like Morbius. We'd be like, nope, that's Sony's movie. Stay over there. It's the same thing, win or lose. I think that you sort of have to look at it as a separate thing in itself. Like, yes, it might go. Deadpool will help more with superhero fatigue than it would help with Marvel fatigue. I think and I think those things are different. While yes, they can be the same. Uh, in some cases, I think they're different, and that's why I think that I'm like, this is seen as Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, its own little separate thing. Like in the following year, when it's like Thunderbolts and Captain America and whatever the third movie is, that's going to look more of Marvel. That's how I sort of see that, as especially because I'm like, there are people who probably maybe have fallen off of the MCU but is willing to go see a Deadpool movie. Just like how people probably fell out of it with a little bit of the MCU, but they was like, oh, James Gunn last movie finishes Guardians, I'm gonna watch it. I'm there. Compared to any of the other movies, because it's just like, Marvel ain't doing a thing. But I trust that Gunn guy. Just like, hey, Deadpool 1, I was like, everyone loved it. Deadpool 2 didn't get received the same way, but you can't say that was a negative. People still like it. So, this right here is a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool baby. And that's what we're going to get. And that's why I said you sort of got to look at that one. That's a little bit different. And I mentioned it just a minute ago with the fatigue and all that other stuff. I was like, I think also too that it's like the other stuff what that has to do with superhero also. I was like, no, it really won't. I was gonna say something like Madam Well will affect it. Let's be honest, it won't. Um, I think also the thing to be cautious of is how, even though how people did like the second movie, it it wasn't a negative, but it still wasn't like, oh man, it's the first one. Uh and so even here, I was like, it's been a while for the Deadpool. The second one didn't hit the same way the first one did, so maybe there could be some reluctance to see this third one. But I think it also could suffer from, is there too many things in the kitchen? Like, you're trying to make gumbo with all the stuff in it, but then also, but that doesn't mean you just keep adding things to it. It's supposed to have things from like Electra's in there. The different multitude of X-Men is in there. The TVA's in here. Deadpool's world in itself. I was like, it looks like it's the same spot where it was like, I was like, we're in Loki, so you don't know what else you're gonna get out of all that. Then it's like, what are they going to be doing throughout the MCU and the timeline? It has a chance to be so convoluted that it takes away from what people may want, where they just want a Deadpool movie. The amount of that is needed to fix things in the MCU, and just a bloated amount of things in there. Where just like, it's like, okay, cool, the Deadpool crowd is the MCU crowd, and then there just might be people where just like, I didn't need all this in here. It was good, but it's like it was doing too much all at once, and I didn't get my Deadpoolness, and I didn't really get to see how it plays with the MCU. Now granted, I got faith that if anything, this movie's going to come out and it's going to be. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be Ryan Reynolds' wet dream of sorts. I was like, even though I just went on of like things of reading why I don't think it could falter, but I'll say last but not least is the fact that we're all wanting it, and we're wanting it so bad that it's like, if you're here, well, yes, it's good. It's great to be optimistic. It's great to have hope. But with that comes a hell of a downfall. And that's what we could be looking at with the expectation that we have with Deadpool. because everybody's going to rush out and see it. Is it good enough for you to see it again and again? It's going to be in theaters a long time. It's the only Marvel movie, so can it hold up to the expectations that everybody's going to have this time around? Because it's been quite a long time since he's been on this side, I feel like, of the pickiness of the internet. But anyway, that's why I think that Deadpool won't save the MCU. What do you think? What are other reasons you don't think it will work out? It's like let's be negative Nancy's for a while. Anyway, until next Marvel news. Peace.